Okay. Gonna get started here, let people join up. It's 8:21 on our clock here, Wednesday evening. It is the 26th of March. We'll go over the radar here, what is happening currently, what's to come as we continue with this very beneficial opportunity for rain throughout much of south central Texas. My name is Alan Holt. I know these go out, and it's not just South Texas that ends up watching these. Get people commenting from all over the place. So we're going to be focused on South Texas and the coastal bend. KIII TV country is, that's where we're looking to service here as we start talking about all of this stuff. Just a quick mention while people are joining up here that all of our social media avenues and digital streaming platforms, we're encouraging you to seek those out if you're wanting additional information, especially pertaining to Corpus Christi and the Coastal Bend. 3 News Plus, very easy to download onto your TV. It's just an app, and then it's like KIII land. You can see just about everything that we do up on that platform. So we'll get started here. Looks like we've got several hundred people that have logged on. I will get through as much detail as I possibly can over the next 30 minutes or so that I plan on being on this. And first things first, it's the radar. It is active. It's been active a little bit this morning, but really picked up this afternoon. And there's a lot of rain falling in the coastal bend, specifically in Live Oak, B, and Refugio counties, Aransas County as well. That's one pocket of rain that's moving north and away from the area. The other is a cluster of thunderstorms that are moving through Falfurrias, Kingsville, and Rivera. Those are moving to the northeast fairly slowly, and those are going to clip parts of Corpus Christi as they move northeast. So we're going to have lulls, and we're going to have active periods as we head into the overnight and into tomorrow morning. The chances are very high for rain, pretty obvious to see on the radar imagery. But the point I'm trying to make is that it will not just steadily rain nonstop for the next, 24 hours. It's just that the chance is very high for these passing showers and thunderstorms. So nothing is severe on the board right now with respect to strength of these storms. There's not really a ton of hail out there. There may have been a few offerings of small pea-sized hail in some of these cells. But again, not really seeing a ton of lightning, especially on the stuff to the north, B, Live Oak, Refugio, Aransas counties. There are some lightning strikes showing up in and around Rivera and Kingsville. So that activity is a little bit more robust. You might be able to see some of that lightning or hear the resultant thunder in those areas. Looks like some lightning showing up over the Baffin Bay right now too. So that movement again is east to northeast. So it does look like Corpus Christi will get in on some of that action as it continues to move that direction. Rainfall totals, there's a wide variety, a wide range of rain. Again, this is just the onset of this event. Tomorrow looks active. We're going to add to these totals. We're nowhere close to finished with this rainfall episode. So if you haven't picked up a ton yet, there is more on the way. Corpus Christi at the airport, not a whole lot, between 1 and 2/10 of an inch. Over a quarter of an inch, almost a third of an inch at NAS Flower Bluff, Naval Air Station Corpus Christi that's in Flower Bluff, about 2/10 of an inch on the island. We got a really heavy downpour here at the station around 1:30. It was very intense for about 15 minutes. And it looks like a lot of the central part of the city is up around that 3/10 of an inch mark. Haven't been home yet today to check on my rain gauge yet, but I'm sure there's some liquid gold in my little cylinder that captures rain at home. I don't have an automated one. I like the old-fashioned, just old school rain gauge. That's what I use. But, out in the brush country, Benavides, over an inch of rain, nearly an inch and a half of rain in Kingsville. Falfurrias, you're approaching an inch, probably going to get there tonight with the rain that you're getting right now. And then the big rain today, for sure, has been between I'd say Orange Grove. I'm not getting data out of there for some reason, but between Orange Grove and Tivoli, way up near the San Antonio Bay, that is where the biggest and highest totals have been, and the rain is still falling there. So, Mathis up over 3.5 inches of rain. That's direct deposit into Lake Corpus Christi. The red hues that you're seeing in southeastern Live Oak County and southern B County, those are rainfall estimates that are up between 4 and 6 inches of rainfall. So a lot of rain in that part of the viewing area specifically. Looks like the western, really, third of San Patricio County, near the I-37 corridor, also up between 2 and 3 inches of rain, according to the radar estimates. You see that purple hue in that region, and you look at the top of the chart there, that's the 2-inch mark. So, rain does not fall uniformly throughout the entire area. It just varies from location to location. So I'm sure some of you, have picked up more or less than what these numbers are indicating. I'm positive of that. It doesn't mean that these numbers are wrong or your numbers are wrong. These are the automated stations that I can reliably tap into to get the numbers. And again, it's 8:30 now. This was at 8 o'clock. So even since then, the rain is continuing to pile in. So these numbers will go up over the course of the next 24 to 36 hours. We're going to get more rain out of the current situation. Flood watches are up and posted throughout the region. This will be through noontime Friday. The green polygons that you see, those are preemptive flood warnings for area creeks and rivers, like the Nueces River up north of Calallen is one of them. These are going to be the areas that are most susceptible to a quick rise. It's not imminent. It's not happening currently, but those warnings are preemptively posted for tomorrow in anticipation of heavier rains to be coming through the region. So that's what those warnings are about, the bright green polygons. The gist of this map, though, is to say that the flood watch is throughout the area. No one's going to be immune to rain. Got to talk about the watershed because that's really where we want the highest amount to fall. And, one of the highest and largest totals on the board throughout the state right now is over Lake Corpus Christi. So that's great news there. There's no way to figure out how much the watershed is going to respond. It's not going to hurt. I'd venture to say it will go up. I don't know how much, depends on how much runoff gets into these reservoirs, how much of the rain soaks into the ground first before becoming runoff. The ground is parched. We're in a severe drought right now, so it doesn't hurt. I don't know exactly what the level is going to be after this is all said and done. I wish I did, but I don't, and I don't think anybody does. This is beneficial rain, and it's going to continue through all of Thursday for sure. So we're not even halfway done with this chance for rain. We've got another full day and then some lingering stuff Friday morning to get through. It's a live look at our tower cam. Again, the time right now is just after 8:30 Wednesday night, March the 26th. You know, it's damp. More rain on the way. I've kept the rain chance in all throughout the night. We're going to keep that coming. Temperatures will stay in the upper 60s. We'll keep an east breeze coming in around 15 miles per hour. And the rain, again, is going to it'll be with us overnight and through a lot of Thursday. I always like trying to address why. Why is it that now we're finally getting rain here after what's been a very prolonged period of dry weather? You know, prior to today, we had only had at Corpus Christi International about 2.5 inches of rain since October 1st. That's going to change tonight and into tomorrow. And really what's happening here is we have lots of moisture, not only at the surface, but throughout the entirety of the atmosphere above us. That's what that green hue represents on this map. And coming in from the west, lots of upper level energy preceding a big area of upper level low pressure. That's still out near the Gulf of California, Sea of Cortez. That's that body of water between the Baja Peninsula and Mexico. So that parent low is going to eject all sorts of energy out in front of it. This is tonight. You see the red hues showing up in South Texas. That's why the rain chances stick with us overnight. You see the red hues out in front of the low into tomorrow afternoon. And finally, this passes over the top of us into Friday morning and then gets east of the area Friday afternoon and night. That's when the rain chances will be coming to an end. But this is great. It's a great opportunity for rain. And as that low gets closer to us tomorrow, the support with respect to the energy that's helping this rain get going will increase. So I do expect some of the showers and storms to be a bit more lively than they were today because of that. The Storm Prediction Center has put all of South Texas in a slight risk for severe weather. And I just want to make a couple of points here on this map because it can be a bit deceiving if you don't know how to interpret it. The yellow shade, that's the slight risk. And you see, it's all of South Texas. That does not mean that everyone in that yellow shaded area will get severe weather. That's not what it means. It means that the yellow shaded area is the region in which an isolated severe thunderstorm may take place into Thursday. So the coverage will not be widespread in terms of severe weather, even though the rain coverage as a whole will be. The strong to severe thunderstorms, those are going to be far more isolated than the general shower and storm activity that we'll see tomorrow. So if one does get to severe level, 1-inch hail, 60 mile per hour wind will be the likely culprit. The tornadic risk looks very low. It's not zero, but it's very low. And in my opinion, the biggest risk out of all of this is non-severe, and it's the heavy rain. That's what's going to be the most likely thing we see is heavy rain. And that is going to be a high chance. I've still got 3 to 6 inches of rain expected for a lot of the region, and that's through Friday morning. So heavy rain and the risk of localized flooding, especially street flooding in flood-prone areas, that's going to be the biggest thing to watch. So a little more robust on the storm chance tomorrow. This is now our futurecast. This is in-house modeling. And this is, tonight, 8:30 or so, doing a pretty good job handling the rain here. It's going to stay active overnight. We may have some gusts up 25, 30 miles per hour. 1 o'clock, widespread shower and thunderstorm activity moving through. Rain really doesn't let up tonight. You'd probably hear a rumble of thunder, a time or two overnight. This is 3 a.m., same type of deal. And it's looking like into, morning commute time tomorrow, we may see an uptick in the rainfall, especially near the coast in places like Corpus Christi. So the flooding concern is going to be elevated into tomorrow morning. Suggest watching First Edition. That starts at 5 a.m. We're going to have a fully stocked crew here, multiple meteorologists on duty. It will not be me. It'll be Carly and Kristen in the morning. But, they're going to be watching and looking, seeking out if there are any road issues in the morning. So we'll be all over that tomorrow morning. It's going to be active. So that's what we're anticipating. And it doesn't let up Thursday either. I still think we've got numerous rounds of showers and storms. This is 10:30 Thursday morning. You see, still a lot of activity in the region. It keeps on coming into the early afternoon. This is 1:30. And another thing about Thursday's forecast compared to today is that the east to southeasterly wind, that's going to continue to be elevated. So, that is going to be breezier for sure than it was today. Just trying to keep up with comments. I will try and answer a lot of these at the very end of this forecast discussion. Like, for example, Laurie Renee asking about the watershed. We just did a whole thing about rainfall that's happened there and what else is to come. Going to get to the forecast totals here in a second, but I try to be as thorough as possible on these unlimited timed weather forecasts. In the news, I get like 2.5, 3 minutes. I had to talk quietly because our producer's right over there. I don't want her to hear me. No, but they give me extra time when it's active like this. But on digital world, time is unlimited, so I'm taking advantage of it. Back to the futurecast. Thursday, multiple waves of showers and storms. This is into Thursday, late afternoon, early evening. Could have another round of very heavy rain and perhaps some stronger thunderstorms. Remember, low-end severe risk into Thursday. So the hits keep coming. Thursday looks pretty active. This is Thursday, 10 p.m., about 24 hours from right now. It just keeps coming. By Friday, things start to settle down. It's not completely over, but Friday does not look as active as today. Wednesday afternoon or Thursday looks like it'll be. Friday, I do think things start to calm down, but we have some lingering showers that'll still be in play Friday morning, and there may be one last little gasp of rain early Friday afternoon before it's all over with. So, Friday to me doesn't look as active at this point. Some of the guidance still wants to keep, more so than what this model is showing, a little band of rain working through early in the afternoon, but by and large, you'll see on the trend here on this, this is all custom. I went in there and I raised the dots. I make all the lines go up and down exactly how I want it to happen. It's not model driven. This is what I think is going to happen out of my head. Of course, after looking at tons of data, but to me, the most active time frame is looking like it's going to be overnight tonight and into the sunrise hours of Thursday. That's where I think the highest amounts of rain are going to be falling in the area. We'll have little, periods of activity followed by lulls throughout the day Thursday afternoon. I think we get another, decent batch of rain into Thursday evening. Maybe one more Thursday night into Friday morning before things start to taper away into Friday. But we still have for sure 24 to maybe 30 more hours of really good opportunity for rain. This map is not something that I was hand drawing. This is from the Weather Prediction Center. It's a branch of NOAA, and they specialize in excessive rainfall. So what we're looking at here is a bullseye between Baffin Bay and Matagorda Bay for primarily coastal counties. And what this is saying, it's in essence 3 on a scale of 1 to 4 on the risk level. The verbiage, I think, is not as intuitive. You've got marginal, slight, moderate, and high, right? Moderate doesn't sound like much, but that's where we are, that red color. And that's the third high, out of 4, it's number 3 in terms of the risk level. So it's up there, even though moderate doesn't sound like much. And what that red means is that we're looking at it, and on any given point within that red area, within 25 miles of that point, there is a 20 to 50% chance that flash flood criteria are going to be met. So I do expect to see flash flood warnings in the area tomorrow based on this outlook. And we haven't had any of that yet. We have not had any flash flood warnings yet. So that should start to pick up as the ground gets a little more saturated, rain continues to fall. I do think that we get some flash flood warnings out of tomorrow based on this outlook. The slight area, that includes all of the rest of the coastal bend, and that's a 10 to 20% chance that on any given point on the map within 25 miles of that point, a flash flood warning is issued. So less coverage, but still, on the table for the entire area. Friday, it moves away. So remember saying Friday, the rain chances start to taper away. That jives with the Weather Prediction Center flood risk on excessive rainfall Friday. Saturday, we're done for sure. Gets hot and humid. Mosquitoes start getting excited. Here's the map now. This is the forecast rainfall. This is, again, custom. I drew this. You're not seeing this anywhere else because it came from me. Granted, it is lower than a lot of the forecasts that are out there. I've seen some from the Weather Service that are talking about over 10 inches of rain. Which is possible. It's certainly possible. Don't want to downplay that. This is just the forecast that I own, right? I know what it says, and I'm accountable for it. So really between the KIII viewing area north of Jim Hogg, Brooks, and Kennedy counties, I think 3 to 6 inches of rain widespread through Friday. And that extends all the way up to I-10 on that 3 to 6 inch range. Remember, if you recall, at the beginning of this, we were talking about how southern B, southeastern Live Oak counties, even Refugio County, is starting to see more on the accumulation, 4 to 6 inches of rain there already. So on this map, I have that stripe of between 6 and 9 inches or more rainfall. Some areas I think could approach 10 to 12 inches of rain when all is said and done. But the issue with that is the guidance is all over the place on where the big, heaviest, high totals are. I think it's going to be there. That's why I start the map here. I think that swath of land between Matagorda Bay and Live Oak County, that's where, to me, looks the most favorable for the highest rainfall amounts. Some guidance is way north I will admit some guidance is way north, up toward I-10. Others way south. Others are way south, right over, Corpus Christi. I'm looking at the Weather Prediction Center's charts, and they're up there, 10 inches of rain in Corpus Christi. That's possible. I'm just a conservative forecaster, and to my eye, this is how it looks. It's possible we don't get 3 inches of rain. That's also possible. We got to put something on the map, and this is the most reasonable to me, how it looks right here. That 3 to 6 inch range for most, with a swath of land that gets more, between 6 and 9 inches of rain through Friday morning. So that being said, rain is done by Friday afternoon. Then it's a warm and humid weekend, mid to upper 80s. Another little front sneaks in here early next week that may offer us some isolated rain Monday, Tuesday, but nowhere near the level we're going to be seeing the next couple of days. So we'll try to answer some of these questions. I'm hoping that did the trick, all of that info. I'm going to cycle back all the way to the radar. So I'm clicking my little weather clicker as we go, trying to read some comments here. Sometimes, see the red button moving. Sometimes it just doesn't want to click. I'm really far away from the weather computer. Maybe that's why, some connectivity issues. But I'm trying to cycle back to the radar just so we have a real-time look at what's happening. And you see, when we started this, talking about the rain, the thunderstorm activity that was over Falfurrias, Kingsville, Rivera, that is now over 77 south of Rivera, Baffin Bay area, and moving toward Corpus Christi. So we're going to see the rain pick up, some light rain already showing up on the radar throughout the city, and we'll get more here as we head into the 9 o'clock hour. Don't see any reason why schools would be closing. Christy, it's a good question. I don't see that right now. A lot of watershed questions. We have talked about that extensively. I'll just show you what's already fallen. We just finished up with the future rain projection, which is several inches more in the watershed. A lot of the watersheds picked up, half inch to an inch already. Almost full coverage of at least something in the watershed today. The only parts that haven't are way up in the northwestern corner. But the watershed has picked up rain throughout the catch zone just today, and more rain is on the way. So hopefully, everyone's happy with the fact that we are getting rain. It's very beneficial rainfall, and we've got another full day of shower and thunderstorm activity to come. I'm really looking at tomorrow morning, especially near the coast, for what looks to be a pretty active start to the day. So I encourage you to watch First Edition 5 to 7. It's live, multiple meteorologists, live reporters out in the field. We will be making sure that we know exactly where the most flood-prone areas are, with however the radar is looking. And all signs right now are pointing at a fairly active morning. So, hang in there. If you're dissatisfied with what you've gotten so far, there's more on the way. It's not just that tonight it's over and done with. Again, we've got all of Thursday and part of Friday morning with more rain in the forecast, and the radar looks great tonight with rain incoming 9 o'clock hour in Corpus Christi. So I'm going to go prepare for our 10 o'clock broadcast. Thank you for watching this, especially if you're watching on our YouTube channel or 3 News Plus. The Facebook commentary is what I interact with here because I can see that real time. I can't see that on the YouTube stuff. So thank you for any questions that may have come in. I hope I answered as many as possible over the course of this 30-minute live stream. Again, I'm going to go back over to the weather area and try to update things, and we'll see you at 10 o'clock with an update.